at all. So this was the weirdest thing ever. I remember in the bedroom and I sat there and I was feeling very well. I couldn't breathe. My lung collapsed. My daughter heard a thump. She came running upstairs. She didn't see it, but I turned to the side. I was so scared. And there was this 30-foot being of some sort, and it was a shape of an angel. And I was like, oh my goodness. And I remember them saying that you can breathe into the rest of your body. So they were teaching me not only to breathe into my lungs, but my body could breathe too. It was a different way of breathing. And I remember that saved me. I was taken to hospital. And I remember then there was just seeing more of the Akashic records being shown around. And then I was introduced then to Archangel Metatron, where now I do work with Archangel Metatron. So it was all these experiences, sort of like preparation, like introducing me to them. I mean, they could have thought of an easier way of introducing me to Archangel Metatron, right? But it was all about
I've spoken to many channels who didn't die. So maybe you're special that way.
I don't know, or just lucky. And then the third time I was in an operating theatre, I had an operation and my heart stopped. And I remember going into theatre, it was all blue room. And then during the experience, I then was in a white room. And I remember the guy saying to me, he was dressed like a dentist, because I remember his haircut was really weird. It was straight across here and his glasses. And he kept on turning around and looking at me. He goes, I know, I'm telling her. And he said to me, go back. You've been told before, you haven't done what you needed to do. And I felt like a 5-year-old that was being told off. And when I came back, I remember these bells were going off in the operating theatre, and this anaesthetist was leaning over and they say, she's back. And I think that was, I don't know, it was about 6 minutes I died or something. They couldn't resuscitate my heart, but I was back in the room again. So yeah.
No, and that didn't happen long ago. And that what didn't happen long ago?
That one was, let me have a look. That was 2018.
Oh, so what you did you just say that you told me off air that there was another thing that happened to you like a year ago?
So yeah. So
and you're amazing. You're amazing, and I love your energy. Go ahead.
So last year, January 2022, I was going through a difficult time. Life was, as it is, like we do humans, things are going on, stress and everything else. And it was lucky my daughter had come back to the UK. She was living with me just for a short time, for a few days. And I remember the day before, I was exhausted. I felt really tired and drained. And I remember in the evening, it was in the morning, it was 2:00 in the morning, Valentine's Day. It was brilliant. I'll never forget that one. And I remember I had to open the door because I felt that I was going to be sick. I felt this overfeeling that I'm going to be sick. So I opened the door, and then I remember as I came out of my bedroom, I sort of crashed, banged into the wall, and then I don't remember anything at all. Then next minute, I know my daughter, she had pulled me into recovery position. So what happened was I'd had an epileptic seizure, the first I've ever had in my life. And I'd lived in a 1930s house in London, and so there was a lot of stairs. And I'd waxed the back of my neck, and so I broke my neck. So I broke my neck. I had this brain bleed. She put me into recovery position, and then I had a stroke. So for 14 weeks, I couldn't talk. When I came back from it, I was stuttering. I couldn't walk. Yeah, so it was major, and I couldn't feed myself. My children, my adult children, had to come home to look after me. I saw a consultant. They did the brain scans, and they said on this side there'd been a brain bleed, and now they labeled me as being epileptic. I had to see the consultant the January that's just gone, and I had a little look, and she said, I don't know what you've done, but it does not look like you've had a mini stroke. But I'd taken lion's mane, I'd started learning Italian, I started roller skating again, and I roller skate now, and got back to my yoga, did my deep meditation, asked for healing, and she's a professor, and she can't believe how I've recovered. But hey.
But you didn't have a near-death experience in that situation.
No, I mean, what happened was I was told that in a way they were rewiring my brain, so it became more suitable for more channeling that I do, because I channel now light beings, and I work with the Galactic Council, so they sort of had to equip part of me to help me to understand what was going on.
It's very interesting. From my experience with channels, is that the nervous system has to be prepared to handle that energy that comes through. I've heard of the rewiring of the brain to be able to it's like the computer has to kind of insert some new chips, or rewiring has to happen in order for you to even deal with what comes in, because it could pop a circuit.
Yeah, and I think it popped a circuit to some degree because I was channeling like crazy, and Galactic Council and everything else, and just, yeah, so I needed to take some time out.